Foremost, Tennessee, they had a storybook season. Everything was going great, led by Hendon Hooker. This man, a Heisman front-runner, but Tennessee loses to South Carolina. Now, I thought Tennessee had the best chances of making the college football playoffs, but in a game like this, where Hendon Hooker goes down with the torn ACL and they get smacked all the way around, Tennessee is now out of the college football playoff picture. Enter USC, not South Carolina, the USC found here in Los Angeles. USC started at number 7 going into the weekend. They were behind LSU. They were behind number 5 Tennessee. But Caleb Williams, get this, Caleb Williams had the most yards ever by a USC Trojan in the rivalry matchup versus UCLA. USC beats UCLA, and now USC is right there on the precipice of entering the college football playoffs. They are knocking on the door, but it will take TCU to open up the door and let them in. TCU goes into Waco. They're trailing. Fourth quarter, down by 2 with 13 seconds left. They have a walk-off field goal and somehow miraculously win the game in Baylor in Waco. So what does it look like right now because of this play? TCU's at number 4. USC will likely be at number 5. And Tennessee's Dream Book season, it comes to an end. That's what you need to know about college football. Let's get you back to the NFL because well, first, speaking of college football, Saturday on Fox, it doesn't get any bigger than this. The greatest rivalry in college football explodes as number 3 Michigan goes to Columbus to take on an undefeated Ohio State. We'll have it here on Fox, starting with the special 3-hour big noon kickoff from the Horseshoe, all leading into the game at noon Eastern, only on Fox. Look, I had a great transition for y'all, but, got to pay the bills. Okay, now let's get back to the NFL. Patriots, they did not put up a whole lot of offense yesterday, but neither did the Jets. I don't know if y'all are watching the game. It was pure chaos. What you're watching on the screen right there is a walk-off punt return. The last time I saw that, Deshaun Jackson versus the New York Giants in 2010, if I'm not mistaken. Pure chaos. Bill Belichick's squad has now won 3 straight games and is a miraculous 6-4. Dave, I will be honest. I said before the season, this season was going to force Bill Belichick into retirement. Now, I still got some thoughts, but I want to hear your thoughts. How impressive is a 6-4 start by Belichick?
I think it's incredibly impressive because, look, before I didn't think he was going to retire, but before the season, I thought the Patriots were one of a handful of teams in the AFC that we didn't need to bother talking about. I don't know how good your quarterback is. You got no talent to speak of on offense. You got shown the door in the playoffs last year by 30 points. I just kind of wrote them off. And here they go again. I got a soft spot in my heart for a boring, middling team that just keeps finding ways to win games. And that is exactly what the New England Patriots are.
Cowboy guy.
Considering what they don't have, I'm incredibly impressed by what's going on with the Patriots.
Joy, where do you stand? How impressive?
Miraculous.
Right.
We are throwing around that word impressive today, huh?
Yeah, right.
We got to find some other adjectives.
Joy is throwing around. I was throwing around.
We got to find something else.
Too liberally?
Yes, being very liberal with impressive. No, I'm not impressed. I think it just dawned on me why I feel this way about Bill Belichick, because I've watched him for 20 plus years torture the Miami Dolphins in the AFC East. And so I'm traumatized by it. And I will never forget those experiences. So I can't just write him off. I don't think it's miraculous or that impressive because this is what Bill Belichick does. It's not that anything he's doing is, for lack of a better word, impressive, because he is consistently good. He's good to great, depending on the talent that he has. Has he been as good as the Tom Brady years since Tom left? No, but I think we all gave him a little buffer year after the greatest player that's ever played the game leaves your organization. We'll give you all a pass, right? We can all agree that's a little bit of an adjustment period to do. I mean, Mike Tomlin's been first year without Ben Roethlisberger. No one's freaking out about what's happening in Pittsburgh. We can apply reason every once in a while, even though we're normally hysterical. But let's just take a step back and look at what Bill Belichick has done. Since 2020, including the Cam year, the Patriots are 23-20. That's a better record than the Eagles, the Niners, the Chargers, and the Bengals.
Say the stat one more time.
That is a stat, Joy Taylor.
I didn't hear you say it since 2020?
Since 2020.
Okay.
That includes the Cam Newton year.
Shady listening close.
No, I'm just trying to figure out. I didn't hear you.
The Patriots are 23-20. Wins, losses. That's a better record than the Eagles, who are not far behind, 22-20-1. The Niners, scrappy Niners, 21-21. The great coach, Chargers, 21-22, and the Bengals, 20-22-1. They played in a Super Bowl. So for as much as we try to dump on and retire Bill Belichick, and I'm not impressed with anything that the Patriots have going on there. I mean, you watch this game was torture, and then they pulled it out at the end because they just have a better coach or whatever, and they just managed to get it done. There's nothing really spectacular about the way that you won this game unless you're a Patriots fan. But Bill Belichick wins games.
Yeah. I would say I'm so impressed by what Bill Belichick is doing for this reason. This is not a talented roster.
Not at all.
I would argue that outside of the undefeated season, 07-08, that Patriots team, this might be Bill Belichick's most impressive season through 10 games. And here is why I would say that. Bill Belichick's rosters usually have Hall of Famers. Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski. That was just two you automatically had on offense. Then you have the Randy Moss years. Then on defense, you might have Richard Seymour. You might have Teddy Bruschi. You might have Asante Samuel. You might have Dante Hightower. You might have Patrick Chung. You might have Vince Wilfork. This roster ain't got that. This roster got Bailey Zappi. This roster has Hunter Henry. This roster has Nelson Aguilar. Like, this roster has no future Hall of Famer except maybe special teams player Matthew Slater, and they are 6-4. For that reason, sitting there at the 6th seed, ahead of the likes of the Jets, ahead of the likes of the Chargers, that I would say is why I'm impressed because of what he's doing it with. But Shady, I know you're passionate about Bill. You impressed?
No, I mean, you're saying impressive, right? I'm not impressed by it at all, right? Especially when we talk about the best coach we've ever seen. They say that this guy is the best coach has ever coached in the NFL, right? That's what everybody believes this. And I don't see what's impressive about him. They're 6-4, they're tied with last in the AFC East, right? I guess they just beat the Jets, so they're in front of them. But I mean, they're 6-4. You watched that game yesterday? Did y'all watch that game?
Yes, sir. It was a terrible game.
That looks so great to you? That's so impressive? Y'all won by a walk-off punt return. The game looked bad. We talk about how Belichick develops talent. He develops all these players. Who? You got a first-round quarterback. He looks bad. I don't see no developments. Okay, and then y'all want to throw these numbers around, right? Oh, he's 6-4. So impressive. They beat the Jets twice. Zach Wilson as the quarterback. He had 80 yards last night?
77.
Come on, man. That's so impressive. You beat the Colts. That's 3 wins. You beat the Browns, Detroit, and Trubisky at quarterback with the Steelers. Is that impressive?
But see, this isn't like you can argue the quality of victory when we're trying to figure out who's better between the Eagles and the Cowboys. Like good teams. That's my whole point. This is a bad roster. This is a team that should lose to the Jets both times, and they swept them.
He's not wrong.
I'm just saying
they won the game. It was 3-3 the whole game.
But they won the game.
Stack this Patriots roster up with the rest of the league, and there can't be more than like 4 teams.
See, this is the problem, though. The problem is when it comes to Belichick, everybody in the world, right, us included, not me, but everybody else, they give him these passes because he's done so much so well. But the truth is that dude in Tampa, he was the big reason why. Now he's gone. This is what he would have looked like his whole career. Just right here.
But I have a question for you.
What's your question?
I have a question.
What's your question?
What coach in the National Football League could currently have that Patriots roster at 6-4? I think that's the point Dave's trying to make.
I can name a lot of coaches that can do that.
Who? Don't say Andy because Andy needs a great quarterback.
I would argue Mike Tomlin. But even Mike can't do it with Pittsburgh right now. I would also say that it's his first year without Ben Roethlisberger. I'm not going to do anything. We've seen what Mike Tomlin has done with Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph before. I would argue Mike Tomlin, but Mike Tomlin is a Hall of Fame coach.
Correct. But, and I would want to give Tomlin.
See, hold on, but seriously though, you got to put the schedules up on the screens.
You sure do.
So you can't just start it out there. What other coach can do this? Well, hold up. Let's take it back, Acho.
Take it back.
Acho.
Take it back,
you got to look at the team who they playing.
Take it back.
For you to be so great, the same with their roster is so bad with the Patriots. These teams is bad. All the good teams you lost to.
True. Good quarterbacks because the Bears.
Come on. Like Miami, you lost to them. You're going to lose to them again.
Yep.
Right? Tua never even lost to Belichick. I ain't going to talk about that. Who else they lose to? Bears? Oh, they lost to the Bears.
To Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, and they lost to Lamar Jackson. Anybody that's a good team, you're going to lose to.
But here's my question, big dog. The Jets beat the Bills, and you know what the Bills have on paper.
No. The Bills beat the Bills.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
That's fine.
If they play that type of game like that, run the ball, be conservative.
But here's my thing. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, Naheem Hines at this point, plus Singletary, plus Dawson Knox.
Where we going with this?
Plus Edmonds on the upper, plus Milano, plus Von Miller.
A lot of talent.
Plus Poyer.
A lot of talent.
They lost to a Jets team that the Patriots have now beaten twice.
Different styles of football.
Sure.
I feel like every time when good teams lose in the NFL, really good teams, since my experiences, they beat themselves. The Chiefs lost. Mm-hmm. They lost to the Colts. Yep. They beat themselves. The Bills. Every time the Bills lost, they beat themselves. Josh Allen is getting crazy.
What coach could have the Patriots 6-4? I heard Joy's answer. Don't say Andy Reid. Don't you dare say Andy Reid.
How about this? If you look at that division, I got Sean McDermott going over winning games. He's a good coach, a real good coach with great habits of winning. And I'm going to the Dolphins.
Mike McDaniels.
They both got good quarterbacks.
Why not?
No, they have. Bump the quarterbacks.
Listen, man.
Bump the quarterbacks. Think about the talent they need.
Listen,
Think about the talent that McDaniel needs to make things go.
So what makes Belichick so much better than these coaches?
All I'm saying is
that's my question to y'all.
Belichick is a great defensive mind. Y'all know how I feel about him as a head coach. But if you can win games 10-3, if you can pick on the little men, then pick on the little men. He's beat Zach Wilson. He's beat Sam Ellinger. He's beat Mitch Trubisky. He's beat Jacoby Brissett. Pick on them little men.
Oh, bums. Real quick, can we see the schedule? 2 seconds, real quick. They're finished their last schedule of who they play. Because guess what? They're not making the playoffs if there's any good teams on there. They play the Bills again. Let me see. You know I'm blind. Okay. They're not going to beat the Vikings. They're not going to beat the Bills.
Raiders.
It's a toss-up with the Cardinals. Depending if my cousin plays Colt McCoy's. If Lil Man plays Kyler Murray, they're going to win. Probably because
Raiders.
It's going to be tough.
Raiders might be a close game. They're going to lose to the Bills. Or Bills, again, they play them twice.
Dolphins.
Bengals. And they're going to the playoffs. I'm saying it right now, they're going to the playoffs.
That's not the flex that you think it is, though.
But here's the thing.
Come on, man.
How can you say
he's the best coach we've ever seen, you say?
He's got a better record than the Eagles since Tom Brady left.
He's barely 500 since Tom Brady left.
He's above 500.
Barely.
He's above 500.
Okay, well, I'm done talking about it. Okay. Y'all want to love this guy. He's so great. If you could put a lot of coaches in his shoes and they'll do the same thing.
I don't.
6-4 ain't that great? When did that become so great? We're 6-4. Like, what?
They're better than a lot more talented.
Yeah, they played a lot of bums.
I'll say this. They have a better record than a lot more talented teams have right now.
The Detroit Lions, Cleveland. What do you
think Belichick
Lions
could do with the Raiders roster?
Coming up, we have big news in the Big Apple. I told y'all Bill Belichick got quarterbacks out here on the hot seat.
Come on, man.